Hello everyone, my name is Lanso90 and welcome to Let's Play Civilization 6. I'd always considered doing Civilization 5 on my channel, but I just never got really around to it. But Civilization 6 just came out, so this is a great chance to play Civilization. Great game. What setting is normal again? Can't remember. I think it would tell you. They'll probably get more clear time goes on. I think it's... Is it Prince that's normal? I don't recall. I can't remember if it was Chieftain, like it's one level above the easiest setting, or if it's basically just middle of this thing. I think it might be Prince. I better check that out really quick. I think it would tell you. I guess it's assuming that people have already memorized it, but I'm not a huge Civilization player. I'm not as good at Civ like 3 and before as or 4 and before actually, because as you've seen with my Paradox game playthroughs, I like their system of kind of restraint that keeps people from building huge death stacks. And that was the thing with any Civ game 4 and before, is the AI would just crank out stacks of millions of units, and you could crank out like 5. So I could never really do that. Civilization 5 fixed that, so you can only have one unit on each tile, but... Alright, let's see. What difficulty is normal on Civ 6? Okay, so it doesn't really matter if it's 6 or 5. Are laid out in game. Prince is generally the fair mode, where the AI isn't programmed to do anything proper silly. Below that, it's more likely to declare war on you. Okay, I guess they changed it now so that it's more based on AI difficulty instead of like giving people bonuses or negatives. So we'll set it to Prince. Start here, Ancient Era, of course. I guess we'll leave game speed on standard for this first game at least. I'm not gonna play small though. I can do huge. My computer's really good. I don't like really small maps in Civilization, because like if you've ever played like an Earth map on Civilization, you see how squished things get. And when you realize that, you're like, oh, well, I don't really like the scale of this game, which is another reason I kind of like Paradox games more. But I'm still going to give it a shot. You can't tell Civilization no that you're not going to play it. What kind of nonsense is that? I'm gonna kick off like 2 players though, so it's kind of like having a larger map with less players. There should still be minor nations. Cultural victory, religious, science, fine. I'm not going to turn those off. I feel like this is like a step back in UI design, honestly. Maybe they're going to improve it later, but I don't know. I felt like there'd probably be something more sophisticated at this point of time, but that's always kind of been a sore spot in Civ games. The UI isn't always the best, but let's move in. Oh, I didn't pick a character or anything. Do we want to be Norwegian? Okay, so that kind of goes back to, I don't feel like the UI is as good as it should be. I didn't realize that I didn't really pick my nation because it didn't really seem obvious where you picked it at. I realize in retrospect what I needed to do, but you know, something a little bit more clear might have been appreciated.
I am qualified to assist you in all matters related to brewing.
Maybe this is 6, because I've played other Civilization games. Alright, the map's cool this time around. This has this, like, real, actual map look to it, where it's like paper. Can't zoom out all the way to planetary view like you could with 4 and 5. Okay, there's some changes in Civ 5, I mean Civ 6 here, but I don't know what all of them are. One thing I do know is like this warrior. You can see you can move these 2 tiles fine, but he can't. He only move 1 space into these hills. The big change I think they made with movement system is now to move into rough terrain. You have to have both of your movement points to do it. It used to be if you had 1 point left, you could still move into rough terrain. And I think it also works vice versa. I think moving out of rough terrain, you need both your points. But I could be wrong on that front, but at least the first one I know is true. I also know that you don't have to be directly adjacent to the sea in order for it to be considered like adjacent to the sea. But I could also be wrong on that. Like I said, I'm not the greatest person at Civilization in general. So, if you're looking for someone who's actually good at this game, I'm not the person. See, you can't cross this river. Normally be able to cross it with your extra movement point. It also creates a problem for this character, this settler here, because I really want to build on the ocean. Is this an ocean, though? Do I have other map modes? I don't know the UI at all, so I apologize. Coast. It is an ocean. It's not a lake. I don't know the game well enough to know if this location's good enough. People always say, like, it's kind of one of the huge deciding decisions you have to make with your first turn is, do you take one more turn to find a better location, or do you settle where you start? I think we need to settle where we start, because we can still build like a docks district here and then be able to build boats. It's just a problem with our nation, because our nation is Navy focused, that if this is the wrong choice, I don't want to make the wrong choice, but we've made our decision. We'll build here. Choose production. What should we start with? We could start with a monument, get early culture going. Or we could get some military units, or a scout. Or a builder. And the thing that's different about builders this time around is they don't work forever. They can build 3 times and they're gone. They're expendable now. Another thing that's important about this one is barbarians are a lot more aggressive, so there's actually more of a need to build offensive units. Go with the scout and choose research. Some of these interfaces aren't exactly how they looked when I was watching other people play, but they must have beta builds. So the different thing about technology is each of these. Yeah, we didn't get found a city on the coast. Yeah, I mean, anyway, I'm going to explain that again, but I think we're going to restart here because I messed up. So with technologies now, like every technology except for like these first 3, I think, have a special modifier where if you complete this task, 50% of the research gets done automatically. So if we had founded a city on the coast, we would have gotten sailing 50% researched from the start. Which is why I'm a little upset that I didn't found on the coast, because that is important for us. Is this start good enough? It's a fairly good start. There is some nice stuff here. Okay, we'll try to live with our decision. It was the wrong decision, but we'll try to live with it. More food and housing. There's also like a new housing system. I think they got rid of happiness. Now there's a housing system in its place. We're gonna need a pasture for these, yes. Yeah, let's get animal husbandry. It doesn't look like there's any special event for getting it done. And I think that's all we can do. Code of laws. Okay, so culture is like its own research tree now. So it's like also researching side by side with our regular research. Which is actually more like how a paradox game kind of works. So eventually, once we get code of laws, we can do some other decisions here. Is there anything else we should check before we start? I don't even know if there's a city view anymore. Oop. Oh, I just did. That's my warrior. Duros. See details. I have to figure out the whole interface, and like I said, it's not. I don't think it's really the best interface ever. Shows you like your growth right there. Amenities, I think that's the new happiness system, basically. To keep people happy and to keep anything from bad happening. 6 houses for 1 citizen right now. Housing from water, because we're next to fresh water. Purchase an item, purchase. Okay, that gets you to like the normal. This is kind of more how the screen would look on Civ 5 when you selected a city. That wine tile is pretty good just to start with. Purchase tile. See details. Okay. I would like to change some map options. Let's do that. I know it's a lot of clutter. But I'd like to be able to see what's going on without having to click on that in view mode every time just to see what every tile produces. Alright. I don't remember telling him to go over the river, but that's fine. This is a goodie hut. Yeah, tribal village. Ah, I can't move into it. It's rough terrain. That's gonna be something that's gonna be a hard habit to shake.
Assassins like scouts are unique in that they can gain experience by exploring and discovering parts of the world.
So scouts can get experience by scouting now. That's cool. Do I want the... Is there an auto explorer option even available for them? There is. I don't know if I want them to. Let's send them this way. It's unfortunate that it gave us a scout though, because I'm building one. I guess we're gonna find out early if can I change my construction? Find out early if we can carry over production. Well, we have 8 production gone into this already. Let's build a slinger. So we have to be on the lookout for barbarians. They are not a good time. So what barbarians do now, it's different than how they behaved before, is they'll send a scout nearby your town, and if you don't kill the scout before he gets back to their base, they will tell the base about you. And then they will bring their actual forces to fight you. And then they won't stop. Also, cities can't bombard, so there's the guy. I don't know if he saw our city or not. I feel like maybe he didn't actually get a view of it, but it's hard to tell, and perhaps I should try to Follow him. Oh, there's a wonder here. There's a complex intertropical alluvial plains of the planet and perhaps the least known area of the world. Oh, it's like a double-sized natural wonder. Eureka! Discovering a natural wonder has inspired your people with the majesty of the universe. Knowledge of astrology has improved. Neat. Kitty, what are you doing? You're gonna tear my pants. It's clawing me. Well, that's awesome to know that that natural wonder's right there. I'm concerned about whether or not that scout saw us. What's that? Oh, that's just a piece of the map. Scout. Tabs on this other scout. This place is huge. It's a lot of culture. Are these citrus? A lot of resources around here. Unless this is just how the game is now. I don't know. Cat. Yeah, I can't move into the... There's lots of resources there. Jade, stone, jade, wheat, citrus, rice, natural wonder, milk, or cows. Oh, they're natural wonder. Awesome. Looks like it's giving like culture to every tile, culture and money to every tile around it. Oh, good night.
To the United States of America. Conduct yourself well and consider us friends.
Teddy Roosevelt. Would you like to visit one of our nearby cities and sample our hospitality? Can't say no to that. By meeting another civilization, it's giving you a new way to communicate. So that's another research thing, getting extra ahead bonuses for. Horses. Yes, you can see those from the start of the game now instead of having to research technology. Where is he though? Oh, he's there. No, wait, that's me. Promotion available for my scout. Where's Teddy Roosevelt at, though? How did I meet him? I probably should have checked that first before moving. I just kind of don't want to move into territory he's already explored, because we're just trying to get the most amount of goodie huts as we can. Promotion available. So promotion's in the character's turn as well, but there's nothing really down here I need to look at. So, faster movements in woods and rainforest terrain, faster movements on hill terrain. Well... Is there more hills or is there more forest? I think it's kind of, I don't think it really matters too much either way. Kitty, no. I'm trying to do a video. Kitty. Sorry. Okay. A new civilization. I'm at the United States of America. I think that ended his turn. Yeah, I think that ended movement points. Oh, there he is.
I am fond of pigs. Dogs
Animal husbandry. Camps and pastures. Alright, what do we want to do next? Horseback riding, mining. Battery, lots of good stuff, but I'm going to end the video here. I'm going to start trying to do 20-minute videos from now on, just to make things a little bit more easy to watch. I hope you all enjoyed, and have a good day.